Right, welcome back to another video from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. In this video, we're going to walk through the next phase of the new baseball GM game. It's called Diamond Dynasty. Diamond Dynasty. And I've got all of my, in the last video I was going through and showing how to fill out the teams. So I've actually gone through and created all 4 teams. So we have a 4-team league. This is Port Morgan, Pine Hollow, Brookdale, and Shady Springs. So we're going to go through now and run through the season. So all of our teams are about the same strength. So 38 total, 37, 38, 38. All of them fairly young. They're all under 3 for their age. So that means everybody's basically just kind of in their prime, moving into a veteran stage. Not a lot of players are going to be retiring, although there will be some for the next year. The opportunity, you can see there's a lot of rookies over here for Pine Hollow, but they're good rookies. We have a star here, future star here. He was a free agent that they had picked up. And then a couple of just kind of pedestrian rookies that they have filled in here as well. So we're going to lay out our schedule. Now our schedule, you can see the schedule maker here for the 4-team schedule. You have a 6-week schedule here. Home and away teams for week 1. So you have basically 1 game, 2 games. So this side is going to be game 1, game 2, and we'll have 2. So basically using the same schedule every year. This is from season 2, so you'll see Pine Hollow and Port Morgan play each other first. Shady Springs and Brookdale will play each other, and then I've listed out, each successive week here with the championship game at the end. So I'm just basically going to be following this schedule here and writing out their new team scores and star power. Excuse me. So first up is going to be Pine Hollow. And this, once you get this written out one time for your league, it becomes a little bit easier. So when we look at our statistics here, we're looking for our team score. Our team score is going to be our skill level. So 31 and 32. Pine Hollow will be here. So 32 and 31. We're looking at our stars. So 6 on the road, 7 at home. And so these 2 teams are evenly matched. We have a 38. This team is going to get 1 extra for the home team. So they're actually going to carry a 39 to 38 base score. So they have a slight advantage for being at home. And then for each team, we're going to roll 2 d6 dice and just add them together. That's a 4. And Pine Hollow winds up with a 42 as a game score. And they need to at least get a 3. A 4 will win for them. So a 4 gives them a 43. And they're going to win straight up. So Port Morgan goes to 1-0. I like to just put it here. And when we get to the very end, you can see their final standings here. And I like to write those down on this yearbook. So keeping so season 2, so Pine Hollow was 6-0 on the year. They're not going to repeat that. Shady Springs was 4-2. Port Morgan was 0-6, and so they're obviously doing a little bit better than the last year. Week 1, game 2 is Shady Springs and Brookdale. Brookdale won the championship in season 1. They took a big step back in season 2, and they look like they're taking a pretty good step forward here in season 3. They've got 2-star players. Shady Springs has 2 2-star players, so we'll see how this turns out. So for Shady Springs, it's a 31 and a 6, which gives them a 37. And these guys will be a 30 and an 8 and an extra 1. So 39, 37 is our base score. Shady Springs roll is a 7. That's a pretty good one. So 44 is going to be their game score. And 8 here will be a 47. So they had a little bit of an advantage, had a good roll, and they're going to win this home game. So Brookdale goes to 1-0. Shady Springs 0-1. And then we move on to week number 2. So week number 2 has Brookdale at Port Morgan for game 1. And Shady Springs at Pine Hollow. These teams are made up. You could obviously use actual cities if you wanted to. These might be actual cities, but they're just not major league cities. So then I just come up here, and these first stats here never change. So Pine Hollow or Brookdale is 30-8, gives them a 38 on the road. Port Morgan 31-7-1, gives them a 39. And so we roll out that game. Oh, just a 2. So that's a tough one. So they're going to lose this game by a final game score of 46-40. And Brookdale will move to 1-1. And Port Morgan will move to 2-0. So quite a turnaround from them, as they went 0-6 from the season before. For Shady Springs, they are 31-6 for 37. Pine Hollow, 32-6 and 1. So they're going to be a 39. So let's see if Shady Springs can pull out the victory. They roll a 4. That gives them 41 for a final game score. Oh, and an 8, a 47. So put the whooping on them. And Pine Hollow moves to 1-1. And Shady Springs falls to 0-2. So Shady Springs has been 4-2 the first 2 seasons and has finished as the runner-up in both seasons. So you can see that things move along pretty quickly. Shady Springs at Port Morgan. And Brookdale at Pine Hollow. So every team plays a home and home with each other. So it winds up, they wind up playing 6 games. So 1 against each of the other teams. And so that's how you play out the 4 teams at least. Shady Springs 31-6 gives them a 37. They're ready to play at home. They haven't played a home game yet. And Port Morgan is 31-7-1. Excuse me. That gives them a 39. Every team is pretty close, like I said, in this season. Sometimes you would get some games where it wasn't close off the bat and the bad team didn't have a chance. But everybody's got a chance in this one. 3 is going to be a 42, so they had a little bit of an advantage. And Shady Springs just couldn't come up with the victory. Port Morgan goes to 3-0. And Shady Springs to 0-3. Brookdale 30-8. And Pine Hollow is 32-6-1. That gives them a slight advantage in the game. Let's see if Brookdale can roll high. Pretty good roll there. That sends them out to a 46 for the final game score. And a 7 is going to be 46. So we have our first extra inning game. And what we do is we roll, I'm going to roll the white die for the visiting team and this for the home team. And we simply roll to see who wins. And it's going to be, they score 1 run in extra innings. And Brookdale takes the victory in extra innings as the underdog. That's pretty good. Brookdale moves to 2-1 after 3 weeks, and Pine Hollow moves to 1-2. So week number 4, Port Morgan on the road at Pine Hollow. And Brookdale at Shady Springs. So Shady Springs finally gets a chance to play a home game. They'll actually play only home games from here on out. So Port Morgan, 31-7. That gives them a 38 for a base game score. Pine Hollow, 32-6. And 1 gives them a 39. So a slight advantage for Pine Hollow. A 6 is a good roll, 44 for a final game score. And Pine Hollow with a 4, they're a 43. So they were the slight favorite, but they lose to Port Morgan. Port Morgan moves to 4-0. So a game that they should have lost, but they didn't. So Pine Hollow goes to 1-3 after 4 weeks. Brookdale, 38 as a base score. Shady Springs, 31, 6-1 gives them also a 38. So even up matchup here. Oh, big roll. They're a 49 for their final game score. They're going to need a 11 or 12, and they get waxed, as a 3 is just a 41 for a final game score. So Shady Springs is going to fall to 0-4. And Brookdale will go to 3-1. So Shady Springs had an opportunity there, but didn't come up with it. Port Morgan. You can see this this part of the game should take about 10 or 15 minutes. And this it'll be about equidistant with the off season. Pine Hollow and Shady Springs. Hopefully I can just get through this and we'll declare a champion. And that will help us sort of finish out our season. Port Morgan is 31-7. So they're 38 overall. Brookdale, 38-1 gives them a slight advantage at a 39. Oh, just a 2. So 40 for a total game score for Port Morgan. Are they going to lose their first game? They are. 47, right? So Port Morgan takes their first loss. They're going to move to 4-1. And Brookdale will go to 4-1 as we have a tie atop the leaderboard now. Pine Hollow and Shady Springs are up next. Shady Springs 31-6-1. So a 38. And Pine Hollow is 32-6. Gives them also a 38. Wow. So 48-50 for a game score. That's tough. Shady Springs, just a 6. And that is not going to be enough as they have a 44. They go down to Pine Hollow. Pine Hollow is going to move to 2-3. And Shady Springs will go to 0-5. Always seems to be one team. It just kind of struggles out of the gate. I'm considering a mid-season, so any of these first 3 weeks, you can cut players and sign free agents, and then after that, you're stuck with whatever your roster is. So each team could go through, like if you're Shady Springs, you could go through and you could cut any of these players. You would still be on the hook for their salary, but you could cut the players and or maybe you'd be responsible for half their salary or something like that. And so you would be able to save a little bit of money, and then you could just go sign a free agent, which we still have we have all of our free agents here. So you could cut someone and go sign a young player who might cost you less but have better upside, or you could sign one of these like Roman Glass, who's in his final year, but he only cost you $1. You're going to lose all your games anyway, so you could save a little bit of cash that way. So if you cut, say, I know I'm interrupting myself here. If you cut Roman Glass, or you picked up Roman Glass, but you cut Jake Clark, you would only you'd be responsible for $3 here. And then you would pick up one player who is worth $1, so that would be $4. So you'd be trading $7 for 4, and you'd save a little bit of money there through the last half of the season. So that would be the cutoff the first half of the season. Whatever you have here all the way to the end is what you would wind up with. So just kind of thinking through some things with that. All right. Week number 6, final week of the season. Port Morgan. So Port Morgan and Brookdale will not be playing head to head. Let's see. Brookdale and Port Morgan. Okay, so Port Morgan 1-1. Brookdale has 1-1. So they split the season series. If they wind up tied, they're just going to be the two at the top of the standings. So I think they probably wrapped it up, but we'll see. Port Morgan at Shady Springs. And Pine Hollow. They have Brookdale. With just 4 teams, it seems it's a little bit easier to keep track of things. So, Port Morgan 31-7. They are 38. Shady Springs 31-6 and 1. So a 38 as well. So Port Morgan's roll gives them a 42 for a game score. Let's see if Shady Springs can get the win. They do. That get a 46 for their final game score, and they go out on a high note. Shady Springs wins their first game of the season. Port Morgan drops to 4-2. That 4-0 record was a bit of a mirage, as they had played some close games, and some games they probably should have lost. Finally, Pine Hollow is a 32-6, and Brookdale is a 38-1, so 39. They have a side advantage in this game. Brookdale looking to go to 5-1 and win the regular season. Pine Hollow is going to wind up with a 44 for a game score. They need at least a 5 to tie. They get a 6, and that's going to be a winner, so 45. As Brookdale takes back the season championship as they go 5-2 or 5-2. 5-1 on the season. Pine Hollow is going to fall to 2-4. All right, so our championship game is just number 2 at number 1. So we have 5-1 Brookdale and 4-2 Port Morgan. So Brookdale will be the home team. They get the slight advantage for being the home team, and Port Morgan will have to do their damage on the road. 31-7 is a 38, and for Brookdale it's 38-1 for 39. So we have it. This is for all the marbles. The championship will net you plus $3 at the end of the year for a championship bonus. And the runner-up, Port Morgan, will get $1 if they're the runner-up. Sorry. So I feel like I've already called that, huh? All right, so they're down 1 to start with. They need a big roll. Port Morgan does. That's not a big roll. So a 41. And barring a 2, Brookdale's going to win. And they will, as they put the whooping on Port Morgan, and they win the championship, and they have won their second championship in 3 seasons. And so they will be plus $3, and they will be plus $1. So that's how the season plays out. You can see here, and you can go back through, and I usually just mark these as whatever season they are. That way I can keep track of them. So you can go back into each season, and you can see how teams have changed. The teams have grown quite a bit. So there were a lot of 20s here, and everybody's in the 30s now. So things are sort of shaping out and and working themselves out. So I expect for the next couple of seasons, probably everybody will be into the 30s. The next video I'll show about the game is going to be how to do the financials. And so we'll go through everything, and we'll look at wins and losses and all that kind of stuff, and then go through and figure out what is their final net. So their income minus expenses, and did they come out positively, or did they have a negative balance at the end of the season? And then those positive or negative balances will carry over into the next season and affect what you can do in the off season. So that's how the game works. So you're sort of getting a bit of a flow of the game, and the next video will bring it all full circle. If you have any questions or comments about this game, just leave them down in the comments section. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please click on that subscribe button. If you find yourself coming back here, you owe it to yourself to get notifications when new videos come up. And that's what subscribing does. It also sends a really good signal to Google that, hey, this is quality content that more people should see. And that will only help the channel and the games that I'm making get in front of more people. So if you can help me with that, that'd be awesome. If you don't care about it, I understand. Then you'll just get the bonus of being notified when new videos come out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way, non-committal way to help me grow this channel as well. And if you like this game, just let me know down in the comments. You have any questions or suggestions about the game, you can leave them down there as well. If you want to further support what I'm doing, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com, and you can look up all the other games that I have that I've published. So lots of games coming down the pipe, including AIG basketball, which I've finished. I'm just it's all in the can. I just need to release more seasons. There's lots of baseball games, including precision baseball, on-base baseball, the game of dice baseball. So I've got lots of different types of baseball games if you're into that, and also basketball and football games. So check those out, and let me know if you have any questions about those. You can email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. And if you just want to say hello, that's fine. If you have questions about any games that you see, or if there's any questions about the process of downloading or purchasing a game, then you can email me and we'll try to work it out. I do have one physical product, and that is On-Base Baseball Pocket Edition. And what that is about the size of a deck of cards in a card box. And you get up to 36 players, 18 batters, and up to 18 pitchers for whatever season that is. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. So it's cards for each team, but it's a little bit like the roster sheets where it just lists the players with all their game values for on-base baseball. Super portable, and the game engine is right there on the cards themselves. So the game engine can go with you, the players can all go with you, and really all you need at that point is a score sheet or a sheet of paper, and you'll be able to play the game because the game engine is right there in the card deck. So that's a really cool way to play on-base baseball. We have several seasons. I sell them through the Game Crafter, and so you can either look for on-base baseball at thegamecrafter.com, or you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and look about halfway down the page, and you'll see links to the different seasons. If you click that one, the big green button that says, view all seasons, I believe that takes you straight over to the website where you can check out, on the Game Crafter website, you can check out all the different seasons that are available. So that's a super cool way. I think it's $20 a season, and you'll get a physical set of cards, and so it brings together kind of the roster sheets and the cards together into a really portable format that's physical. Cards are super sharp. They feel great. They are tarot sized, so they're a little bit larger, and they're also they have a special coating on them, a special UV coating that's supposed to keep them from fading, and as you slide them over each other, it kind of protects them. So I've not had any issues at all with the cards themselves. Inside the box, is the box kind of unfolds, and inside the box is actually the basic instructions for playing on-base baseball. So that's also included in there. But also you can download the full game guide, and you can download some score sheets after you purchase the game. Those are available to you to download for free. You can get those also in the free section of clarkandaddisongaming.com. There is lots of free things to download, demos for different games, different game parts. There's a baseball simulation chart where you can simulate games based off of Bill James's log 5. I guess it's a calculation. It's a grid where you match up each team's winning percentage, and then you find out what's the probability of that win. You roll a D100, so you can roll 2 D10s or a D100 die, and you'll get above that number or at that number, one team wins. Up to that number, one team wins. Above that number, the other team wins. And it just gives you a more mathematically precise way of sort of saying matching up two teams. Obviously, if they both have 500 winning percentages, there's a 50-50 chance of each team winning the game. But the chances change as the teams differ in their winning percentages. So you can take historic winning percentages, you can do a replay, and as they play each other, you can take their winning percentages and sort of pit them against one another, even during the middle of a replay that's going right then. That way you can play your team's games and you can simulate the rest. Simulation with cards and dice is quite a bit more difficult, but that little sheet of paper, which is a free download at clarkandaddisongaming.com, it makes season replays sort of within your grasp, because it allows you to quickly simulate lots of different games that you may not want to play on the tabletop. All right, that's enough of that, and I will wrap this up. So our champion is Brookdale. They've won 2 championships out of the last 3, or out of the first 3 seasons, and they are a bit like the Yankees in certain ways, because they always seem to wind up with the most money. So they had $17 at the end of season 1. They wound up with they carried over $20 into season 2, and now they're carrying $8 over into season 3. Actually, it'll be 8 plus 3, which is 11. So they'll carry over $11. And Port Morgan will carry over $31. They'll have a $31 loss. So they had a tough time of it, but they bounced back nicely, had a 4-2 season. And so those 4 wins are going to really help them to try to get back to even in their money. So here you got to balance money, you got to balance your roster, and then you also have to play out the games. So the games are a little bit secondary, because all the work is in putting your roster together and trying to get the most wins that you can out of this roster. And it's a little bit brute force, because you're using just these numbers here. So the higher these numbers go, the better your chance of winning. But as you can see, as the league sort of evens out and gets better, everyone is 2 to 3. So everyone is young. Pine Hollow is quite young, but everyone's a little young. And so this team here, Port Morgan, had a good season, but they're getting a little older. So we'll see if things change for them. The same with Shady Springs. They're a little bit older, and they had actually quite a terrible year at 1-5. So they're looking for a roster rehaul. So they may have to do more sort of getting rid of older players that are kind of at the cusp and they're not getting better, and trying to bring on younger talent, which over time is going to get better. So we'll see how that team shapes out. They have 2 stars here, future stars. So Leo Holland, they picked up as a free agent. He's already a 4, but he's a rookie in this season. He's already a star. And then they have this guy here, Emilio Hayes, who rolled a 2 as a rookie. And so he has a real opportunity to move up to the 4 class, or even better. if he gets a good roll. And same here. Delgado is in his prime. He's at a 2. He could still move up to a 4 or 5 with a really good roll. So they have some potential here, but they have to have good rolls going forward. So that's kind of the cool part of the game, is you watch these teams kind of move and change, and how they adapt to each other and how they adapt to the rest of the league. So I will leave that here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.